Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weishite, licensed clinical social worker with Travel and Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And we always want to bring to you updates, and especially when we have a little bit more finality to some of these ongoing investigations. And so we welcome back into the program. Joining us, Clint Dempster. Thank you, Clint, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, absolutely. Clint, of course, the public information officer over at Thibodaux Police Department. And I know we've been kind of working on this for a little bit, the Xavier Smith situation with school. Tell us a little bit more about maybe a little bit of a recap and where we stand.
Yeah, so of course, this all started on Tuesday. We were made aware from Edie White High School of some threats that were made to several students at the school. Of course, initially our patrolmen respond, and shortly thereafter, our detectives got involved. But it was several students that received threatening messages of bodily harm to themselves from a subject who did not attend school there. This was through a Snapchat app.
Okay.
And of course, the school, reported it to us. We started investigating it. Again, like I said, the subject didn't attend the school there. They weren't 100% sure exactly who the subject was. We did have a name. He was an acquaintance of someone who did go there. So, of course, we started investigating it. We kept officers there throughout the day. Through dismissal, just in case,
Right.
while the detectives kind of ran with it. We worked with several neighboring law enforcement agencies to get to the bottom of it. At the end of the day into the night is when we discovered that the subject was not currently in Lafourche Parish. So we had to reach out to and work well with probation and parole, as well as the Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office. And he was we basically located him in their jurisdiction in Venice. No arrests were made that night, but at least we knew exactly where he was.
Right.
And we formulating a plan with Plaquemines Sheriff's Office to apprehend him, and which we did do so yesterday afternoon into the evening time, where he was apprehended without incident by their SWAT team and in charge with a terrorizing charge.
Right. And again, that was a terrorization charge, and there was some issue, which is a felony, by the way.
Yes, sir.
And so, it's one of those things where I don't know that people always realize. I think they feel like, oh man, I'm doing this on an app. It's that distancing that is expected, but they don't realize the severity of that. But when you threaten physical harm to somebody, that is a felony.
Absolutely. Especially in a school setting,
Right.
That's kind of what puts things like this over the top. I mean, obviously, we deal with a lot of social media things these days. That's a hot topic in law enforcement. But again, whenever you choose to incorporate the school and the school setting and children and kids that go to this school, it kind of ups the ante and it takes it to a different level.
Right. And that other level, interestingly enough, was from someone who is from Gaines, right? So the gentleman lives in Gaines. And so Xavier Smith is his name, right?
Yeah.
And
Xavier Smith, he's a black male, 18 years of age. He's originally has ties to obviously Lafourche Parish. He's resided in Gaines. He has family who still lives there, but he also has some family who lives in Venice,
right.
Which is where he was located.
Right. And it's really interesting that he doesn't even attend the same school, doesn't attend Edie White, which is where the situation kind of began. But it echoes again, and Clint, we talk about this kind of often with each of our different agencies and law enforcement agencies, how well you guys can work together so quickly that we went here from Thibodaux Police Department to Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office to Plaquemines Sheriff's Office, did it all within the same afternoon and evening. And then within 24 hours or so, that gentleman is arrested and taken into custody.
Absolutely. Look, it's pertinent that, us as law enforcement officers keep that good working relationship with your neighboring agencies, just for certain things like this,
Right.
If you don't have those good working relationships, I mean, you're kind of spinning your wheels, unfortunately, there's jurisdictional boundaries that we can't cross, and the same thing with those other agencies. So, you kind of have to, work together, to kind of make some headway and, to get these guys in custody and, to where they can be, served justice.
Right. And I think a lot of times when they do these kinds of acts, they try to find a way to not be present anymore, right? They run.
Absolutely.
And it's just, it's,
Absolutely. And the thing is, you want to apprehend them as quickly as possible, because you don't, but before they actually, have knowledge of you actually looking for them and that the investigation is underway, because that's the further they can run and hide and try to get away from you. So the quicker, the better. So, anytime you can make an arrest like this within 24 hours, it's definitely, speaks volumes.
yeah. And it's a plus. It says that, one, we're not going to tolerate this kind of behavior. Two, we know, in fact, the Plaquemine Sheriff's Office had to bring in the SWAT team to take care of that. And so, interestingly enough, that's kind of that next level, if you will, right? Bringing in SWAT, making sure that they are staying safe. And it's so very important to be able to do so. But again, Xavier Smith, by report of Chief of Police Brian Zarang, lets us know that black male, 18 years of age, from Gaines, Louisiana, is in custody and has been arrested for the felony of terrorizing and threats to individuals at E.D. White High School. And so, Clint, we appreciate, as always, you coming to provide those updates with us and for us, and more importantly, keeping our kids safe, keeping our community safe. We can't thank you enough.
Yes, sir. Thanks again for having me.
All right, we appreciate it. All right, guys, that will do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here on HTV.